time as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, down at the 33. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30.
Now, that was a big run. It takes them all the way down to the 1-yard line, and that'll shake the confidence of any defense. So when they're looking for a little bit of support now, looking at their defensive coordinator, if I'm him,
and he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And they should be set up for a big game. They have one of the hottest offenses in the league. They're coming in riding a winning streak, but we've seen these quick turnaround games really wreak havoc with what you've done previously. Hopefully they simplified their offense, and they'll just let their playmakers go out and do what they do best. Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 28.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Rodgers now to throw. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Well, let's see who's faster.
To throw is Rodgers. And that's caught by Beasley. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Tony Brown there on the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On second down, it's Jones, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. These two teams all tied after one. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He's got his target. It's Cobb. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. On 2nd and 7, Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Caught by Jones. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Tavecchio puts this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. That one good for 33 and a first. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, backside guys, that's what you're supposed to do?
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain. Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Open space inside the 10. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. Give them 14 on that one and a first down. Two minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Another try for Mixon. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Well, throw on the quick slant, going to be complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Rodgers in control as he hurries his guys to the line. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. And Graham's got it. Complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. Here's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. To throw, it's Rodgers. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Here we go.
Steelers now on 3rd and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Bring it, 48. And let's pin the mirrors back and go. Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. Ringo. SOS.
Final play of the half, Cousins. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Vikings to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting, as they've got the lead right now, beginning this drive 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Mixon will get it to start the second half. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw, Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On 3rd down, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Not only is a slant route really difficult to cover, it's a real staple play for an offense on a 4th down because it's a quick-hitting play. Get the ball in the hands of the quarterback right to the receiver.
And the receiver has to be ready because that thing's coming on a rope. Preston Smith there on the stop. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Again, it's Mixon. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA and playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Rodgers now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got it? Someone cover it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Eric Kendricks able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Packers have retaken the lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run here with Mixon. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A gain of 3, second down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Bowman. And he's got this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 33. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll try the left side. It's Bowman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. On first down, Bowman. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. And what are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now, it's Bowman. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game, as his guys are able to regain the lead. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
I can put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
That's complete to Cobb. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 12-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Rodgers to throw. Caught by Cobb.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Tavecchio puts this one through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he'll find Thielen on the right side.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He'll find Thielen working the middle. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be 4th down now. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So a big one coming now for Brett Maher. This to take the lead here in the final minute. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. The kick by Maher is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
So now Rodgers in the pack. Down by a field goal, a little over 30 seconds remaining. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10.
Come on, come get some. Come get some. Come on, come get some.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down. Back to throw, Rodgers. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Rodgers to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Vikings, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the